Okay, let's start this next session. Cron job. Previous session we have discussed the first how the cron job syntax, how the cron job syntax would be. First one is hour. First one is minute. Second one is hour. Third one is like that. It should be okay. You can see if you want to see what are the cron tab entry in that. Wait. You see, first one is minute. Second first star will be minute. Second star will be hour. Day of month. Third one. Next one is month. Third one is day of week. Okay. Okay. If you put all stars means every minute the script should run. You see here. Whereas this is a cron job entry, it is running on every minute. 18th, 19th, 1859, 1858 minute, 1859 minute, 19th minute, 1901 minute. It run. What is there inside here? Okay. This is the script. In this script, this is the script. Script.sh. This is the script.sh. In this script, I have added this line. This line means echo dollar date. Whatever the date is, this is the date. Date output. Okay. The date output I have append in this file. Every time the script is running, the new date will enter into this output.txt. Okay. Uh, Here I have to give some permissions to that file so that cron tab should run. First of all, we need to check we need to run the script manually. Just run the script manually, and I came to know that this script, this output.txt, whatever the script output.txt has permission denied. Due to that, the script will not executing. Then what I did, I have given the permission sudo means root. Okay, I am changing the output.txt as a root user. Okay, sudo user. Okay, root user. I am giving full permissions to the output.txt. Okay, I have given permissions, and then after permissions, again I run the shell script manually. I feel the script ran fine. Okay, now you see the output. Now you see tail-f output.txt. Let's see in the here the to check that cron job entries, you need to do cron tab -l. You see the cron job entry here. This is the cron job entry. Okay, you see the script. Okay, this is the entry. At the end, you see the script. Okay, in this line. And then if I run manually, let's see output. Cat. I am in this directory. Okay, output.txt. You see, it is coming out. If I run script manually, it will come. This is the running script manually. Okay, you can see cat output.txt. Last 98, 9848, 981 there, 9848 is there. You can check that the cron job is running or not. Tail-f output.txt. All the new entries should will come here. You can wait for some time. It will you will get that output of that cron job. That means cron script. See, you see, observe every time 94, 95, 96, 96, 97, 98. Every minute it is running. Correct? If you wait for next minute, it will get another entry also here. Okay. Okay. Let's go for another command. I think we got, yeah, you see, got another output here. Every time, every minute, the output is appended. Whatever the script result will be appended to output file, because we have the script is we have written the script stating that the date should be every time will be appended into this file. Okay. Okay, let's go to next thing. Okay, you already seen running a shell script background. Okay, if you run a shell script background means you will get process ID, and then the script will run background. That means you need not worry about the script; it will run automatically. Okay, you can run other scripts parallelly also. Okay. 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 Now sh space. Okay, if I run the script manually without background, that means until completion of the script, I won't get the prompt like this dollar next time. We need to wait until completion of script to run the other command. Then I did Control C. If I run background, just a script will be running automatically. Then I can do another work also. I can run ls. You can run any command until we need not wait to complete the script. Okay, script or command, anything will run background. Okay. Okay, next. History you already know. How many commands till now we did? All are um, all commands you can see in the history. Okay. If you want to save the history in one text file or any file, you can name something. You can name something. You can redirect to the file. The entire history will be copied into that file. You can check. More will not work here. Okay. All the history it is there. Okay. You can see. I have stored all the history into one file using greater than operator. Till now, whatever the commands we have typed, it will show in the history. Okay. Okay. These are special variables. Special nothing but okay. $0. These special variables will work in the shell scripting. Okay. Usually. Okay. Next, in this, while running the shell scripting, $0 is the file name. If you run the command, okay, small shell script. Okay. $0. $0 means it will display file name of the current script. What is the script name? Something. Okay. That script name will be displayed. Okay. $n means how many number of arguments. You can write number of arguments equal to $n, something like that. $has number of arguments. $n means the variable correspond to argument with the script was invoked. Positive decimal. Yeah, I think it will print some list. Okay. $hash number of arguments. Okay. Dollar question mark. Exit status of the previous command. Okay. Well, let's check these two special variables how it runs. Okay. Now sh space. Okay. These are all called arguments. Whatever the okay. After sh space script.sh, whatever you keep after the script, these are called arguments. Okay. I'm just writing, entering the script. Okay, sorry. Script.sh, no? This is the actual script name. You see the special variables how it prints. The script name. Script name is this one only, na? That is came here. Whereas number of arguments 8. How many arguments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Though these are arguments. You got these two. File name, number of arguments. Okay. Okay. Next thing is dollar question mark. How it works? Suppose cat.txt. I see. I know this command did not work properly. How does Unix know how this command work? Dollar question mark. Dollar question mark one means the previous command, okay, did not run properly. Okay, I type ls. Now I see the output of the dollar question mark. It should be 0. If it gets dollar question mark 0 means the previously executed command went successful. If the dollar question mark is equal to 1, if we get means the previous command did not run. It throws some exception or error. Okay, this is called dollar question mark variable. Dollar question mark always show the previous command is executed successfully or not. It will confirm using echo dollar question mark. If the result is 1, the command did not run successfully. If command dollar question mark 0 means previous command, whatever command it will be, either ls, pwd, cat, cut, whatever awk, any command, it will show the exit status of the command. Okay, whether the command is run successfully or not. Okay, dollar means process number of the current shell. This is the process number of the current shell. Okay, this shell, what is the process number? I don't know why it is not coming here. Okay, okay, dollar exclamation means process number of the last background command. We run the command background now using dollar. It will show like this. It is a 695. We run the command background now earlier. You see 694. This is the run earlier we ran the background command. Okay, it is showing 695. I think you have understood. We have previously run this command as a background. That's why what is the process ID 695. Using this dollar this one exclamation or something na, this command will show process number of the last background command. Okay, last we have previously we just run the background command na, that process ID will get. Okay, dollar at all arguments individually double quotes. This is some kind of list. Okay, it will display something like this. Go to the script. Dollar at. Let's see how it prints. Yeah, you see number of, this is the dollar at output. Okay, whatever the arguments it is there, it will stored into the array, dollar at array. Okay, this dollar at holds entire thing. Okay, okay, these are called special variables. I think dollar n I could not able to explain better, but remaining variables I have explained very well, I think. Okay, next thing is base name. Base name is whatever the full path. This is absolute path. What is the base name? Actual name of the file. You will get this. Okay. If you do base name like this, you will get a test.txt. Okay. And then dir name, full directory name it will give. Okay. Directory name it will give. Okay. Right now I am this file. I want to know full file path of this. Okay. See, I got the full file path of this data.txt. Okay, I am currently in this directory. Okay, in this directory data.txt. Okay, we'll get the full file path. Okay, these are called comment section. If you write hash anything, it will not execute. It will not execute. That is single line. That is single line comment or whatever the comment. If you put hash in the script or anything, if in the script, let's see, I don't want to execute this first command or second command. If you put to insert, press insert hash, that means that arguments will not come output. Only the file name will come because I have commented that line. That line never run. Okay. Okay. Like ls, will get ls -l will get the properties. Will get the file name who created like that. Na? There is another command called stat. Similar stat abc.txt. We'll get the statistics of that file. Okay, access, modify, change. Birth means what time it was created. Next to change date, modify date, access date, who did. Okay, like this everything statistics. What is the file size, IO block, and all kind of things. Okay, using stat you can see birth means when it was created at first. Everything is in the statistics, file statistics. Okay, last command is T. T will do two things. This will help to store and view both at the same time. The output and then any other command. Okay, let's see how it. Suppose if I do ls, it will display. If I do ls greater than abc dot t tct, did I get display? No. Why? Whatever the output, it is going to abc dot tct. Now let's try with t. ls t hyphen a means append, hyphen a www.txt. Somewhere it will display as well as it will write into the file. I think it should be there. Yeah, it is displayed, and as well as the data went to data is written in that file. Okay, you understood now what is the T command. This is a property of T. T will do both things together, both display as well as writing a file. Same kind of thing. If you want to do something like LST file, it will list things. Okay, list things and writing into the file. This is what we did. You can also write the output into multiple files as shown below. I have just append a single file. If I want to do multiple files also, you can see like this. Hyphen A means append. If you go don't give hyphen A, it will just create a file. That's it. Just multiple files. Okay, let's see. It will display here as well as file1.txt also it is there. You see file2.csv, it is there, and then file3, it is there. I think congratulations all of you. You have successfully completed the Unix course. Thanks. Thank you so much.